Hi, I'm Lucas. This is my father, and this is our first video on YouTube in English. What you can expect from us? I don't know, but at least you will see two crazy guys who loved our cars and trying to get them back on the road. I am from Czech Republic, in the middle of Europe, and I will not bully you with my English accent, and I will use AI to create the voiceovers.
And here is our newest project, my dad's BMW 2002. We've already been several times in Germany or inside of our Czech Republic to look at cars for sale, but we did not buy anything. It was quick repairs just made for sale or total rust buckets. The change came in February this year when a friend called us saying, "Hey, I made wrong turn and there was BMW 2002 parked in front of the house." So my dad and him jumped in the car and went to check it out. The advantage was that was super close to our home. So they tried to knock on the door and the lady answered,
"Yeah, that's the car of my brother, and it might be for sale. Leave your phone here, and he will call you tomorrow."
The second day, my father received a phone call. They got the deal and car could be loaded to the trailer on weekend. One wheel was stuck, but we were able to make it moving right on place. The car was once repainted white, and not just white. It's imported American models that have these massive bars instead of bumpers. Plus, it's a model with an automatic, so it's not every petrol head's wet dream. It's been in a barn for 15 years and outside for the last year and a half. A pleasant surprise was that after inspecting the critical areas and several unprofessional repairs, it's a well-preserved piece that doesn't need so many bodywork. Enough talking, now let's get to work. We wanted to see if the engine would start. With cars that have been parked for such a long time, it is good to remove the spark plugs and lubricate the inside before first start. So piston rings do not run dry for the first time. We use this spray from Liquid Moly. In this car, it's quite fun because engine is in car under angle. After we lubricate all cylinders, we wanted to try to turn the engine manually and nothing happens. It was stuck. So we took out the radiator to get more space and still nothing.
Počkej, tam na ty šoupy.
Jo.
Počkej, tak nebo fossil, luky.
Dad wanted to take a look under the valve cover to see what the cam looks like. You can judge for yourself. The car really had been sitting for a long time. This all is condensation. So we put the car on the lift and tried one more time, but still nothing. Once the car was in the air, we drained the oil or this. What was in the oil pan? It's not the first time we see fuel in the oil. We have experienced it in the past when the fuel pump started to leak. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned the critical places for this model. Most often, it's rear wheel arches in the trunk. The front end. And the bottom of the spare tire. And let's take a look at how it all looks from the bottom. The differential is dripping oil a little. Okay, someone has already replaced the exhaust with an aftermarket one. The floor looks okay. Thank God someone sprayed the chassis of this car in the past and waxed it. Without it, we will have only sunroof right now. The automatic transmission is very oily. We later found the issue is the filler neck. In order to move the car freely around the garden, the brakes had to be taken apart. The front axle have disc brakes with 4-piston AT calipers. All we had to do was remove the brake pads. We can look around the left wheel arch. There is place that will need repair under the driver's feet. The pads are on supporting pins that you just have to push out and are held in place by this kamikaze plate.
Go back. Idem na demontáž. Stop.
The car have drum brakes on the rear axle. So the brake drum must first be removed. We loosened the nut on the axle and removed it also with the hub. The adjuster was stuck, so the whole brake shield has to come out. My dad did that when I was at work, so I only have one side recorded. I'm glad the first broken bolt, it's not my fault.
Jsem šel.
Loosening the brake cylinder was also a pleasure. On one side, both bolts had to be drilled out. The adjuster just needed to be heated and lubricated, and then started moving, or screaming.
A kolem dokola jako. trebuie.
In order to be able to move the car, the entire brake system was temporarily set back together. Under the white paint is red, and under it is original silver Polaris, which I really like. There is more ways to remove old paint, the chemical way, like paint removers, or soaking the entire body in special bath. You can do sandblasting, which we don't like on big areas because you can bend the metal. Our favorite way is the classic old school by hand. With the grinder, sandpaper, Scotch-Brite, hot air blower, and scraper. But what worked best for us on old paint is this scraper for removing old glue when replacing the windshield. Thanks to it, we managed to get to the original paint pretty quickly, which we will then remove later. I'll just point out that this is not a speeded up. I really work that fast when I have enough caffeine. Someone repaired the passenger side door very quickly by riveting a new sheet metal. Our nephew also came to help us with peeling off the old paint, so it became a 3-generation group of maniacs. The last part that is coming up is the front hood, which gets lots of Bondo on it, but somebody did a pretty decent job. Good news in the end. We cleaned the hood completely for nothing. Because the following week we went to buy a manual transmission. We get a good deal. And also buy pedal box, passenger door, and front hood. Once again, thank you guys for the great chat and demonstration of your project. And I wish you good luck in the future. Luckily, I played a lot of Tetris when I was little. So we managed to store everything into my Skoda Superb. It was just a little windy inside because the hood was sticking out of the window. We can't complain about the size of my car's trunk because we also transport the new engine in it. Actually, I'll talk about that next time. So don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next episode. If you like this video, give it a like. This will help us most in the beginnings.
And see you in the next episode.